All right, so we're at section 2 of our final unit for the school year. Yay! We're talking about graphing quadratic functions. This is your standard form. And in the first section, we talked about what happens when you just have the A term. And then we talked about what happens when we add on the C term. And then today, we're going to deal with all three. Now, you may be looking at your notes and be saying, this isn't a lot. It's just one page. I've only got 2 examples. Do not think that just because this is a short section that it's not important, okay? Or that it's easy. Because when you introduce this B term, you got a little more going on, all right? Now, in the first section, we learned how to tell when your parabola opens up, when it opens down, when it's wide, when it's narrow, when it shifts up, when it shifts down. When you introduce the letter B, that means your parabola can be anywhere, okay? It can go to the left, to the right, up, down. It can be open up, open down, anything goes. So let's get started. We're going to add the roll of B. So now you're going to have the entire function to graph. So let's talk about what happens. First sentence that you have there says when B, what this is saying is when B is not equal to 0. That's what that means. In other words, we have a value for B now. When that happens, your parabola will shift, let me get a different color, to the left or right. Okay, so now our parabola is moving up, it can move down, and now it can move to the left and the right. Like I said, it can be anywhere on your coordinate plane, which means your axis of symmetry is no longer the y-axis. It's no longer because now I can move it to the left or the right. So you got to figure out what is that axis of symmetry because I'm going to ask you what it is. Well, here's how. Your axis of symmetry is going to be x equal to the opposite of B, so whatever our number is for B, you change the sign, divided by 2 times A. Now, where does the B come from? The equation. It's the middle term. Where does the A come from? First number you see. Where does the 2 come from? It's part of the formula. Don't touch it. This is a vertical line. So if x equals 5, you shift over to the 5 on the x-axis, draw you a dashed line, that's going to be the middle of your parabola. If x is negative 8, you shift to the left 8 units, draw that vertical line, that's going to be the middle of your parabola. So this is a line, it is not a point. This is what will be your axis of symmetry. Okay? Next sentence, vertex. Since I'm going to be moving that vertex over to the left and up and down, that vertex is no longer going to be the origin. I'm going to ask you to tell me what are the coordinates of the vertex. How do you do that? Well, you've got to remember that your axis is always going to be straight through the vertex. So your points will be opposite of B over 2A. So whatever your value is for your symmetry, that's going to be the value for your x coordinate. And then your y. Well, how do you get the y? We're going to solve for y. Okay? So the only real work you're going to have to do is right here. This is going to be a little mental math, I hope, is mental math. Then whatever value you get for your x, you'll plug and chug into your function. That tells you your y. That will be the coordinate of your vertex. If you think this is abstract, you're right, it is. But this is quarter 4 algebra 1. And you've got to know how to graph a parabola before you go to the rest of your math classes. So if you think it's hard, get over it. All right? This is what you've got to be able to do before you walk out of here in a couple of weeks. Okay, now I want to give you some steps on how to graph, how to proceed. What do I do first? What do I do next? So in your notes where it says how to graph a function, that 1, 2, 3, 4 are some steps. That's your steps. And these are things that you're going to be asked to do. So I tell you what, we'll save it for the next video. Make sure you got this filled in. In the next video, I'm going to give you some steps. And then if there's time,